Your footage looks trash, but most of the time it's not even your fault. My name is Marco Bagnoli and today we look at this MasterCard commercial, and after watching this video you should be able to shoot something like this. So look at this cool shot. And there's a reason why this shot looks cool. We have this really nice spotlight effect, these moody colors, spotlights, warm lights in the background, this deep blue sky. So when a lot of people try to recreate this shot, they think, okay, I want to shoot at night and I need this top light and I will be done. But you aren't. The reason commercials mostly at night look good is because it is not light. It's 99% of the time blue hour. Blue hour is a small time frame at the day where you get this deep blue colors in the sky. Cameras like light, cameras like color. What cameras don't like is deep blacks, and at the night we have really deep blacks with no information, nothing our eyes can see or feel. This is the reason most of your night shots look bad. I can show it to you really quick. Just imagine this guy wasn't there. So we break it out a little bit, and as you can see, the shot now becomes less cool because we don't have this color contrast anymore. So what's the problem, you probably think? Yeah, then I shoot at blue hour most of the time. Commercial have most of the time the budget to calculate, okay, we have 3 nights and we shoot every night exactly with our actors at this time of the day. But for most of us normal people, this is not an option because you don't have the budget to pay the actors most of the time for such a huge amount of time. So you have to gamble. When I have a small budget and want to create a cool shot like that, I will be realistic and I will say, okay, we do 1 or 2 or 1 scenery because everything else is impossible. Then probably we will also take a handheld or gimbal and just shoot really fast, because this is not the shots you will do with a complex camera movement scene. But that the sky is blue is not the only good thing we have about blue hour. We still have a little bit of ambience. As you can see, the grounds, the buildings, they have a little bit of something, some texture, some detail in them. When it's dark, there wouldn't be any details. What they also done pretty good here is how they framed him, because exactly behind him is this building. So as you can see, the shots works really good and vertical also. And this is a trend you will see in a lot of commercials. Most of them are designed to make the most important thing always in the middle. You can see it becomes really repetitive, but you have to do it nowadays. But you lose a lot of creative framing options when you work like that. But if you don't go with the trends, you will leave. So this word combination does word in English, but you probably understand what I told you. And also, how did they put a spotlight on him? Because as you see, this is a real large and wide shot. To get a spotlight like this, you need a tripod that is 10-50 meters high. And most of the time, you don't have such a big tripod. What they probably done here is they have a drone. They're actually drones with small lights that can create a light beam like this. What I wonder here, most of the time this looks like a shot where you have a little hazer in the background and just given a wisp of haze so that we have another layer. But they didn't done it here. They just done a spotlight which didn't create the light shaft, but probably the look they were going for. But also working with haze is also time consuming. So they said, we don't do it. And another nice touch on this image is, as you can see, the skin and his shirt, overall he's very bright. A lot of people will think, okay, the exposure doesn't fit right. Now we make a little bit darker. But right exposure is not always the right exposure. I always have to think about you creating a feeling. So this person really has to glow. So they overexpose him a little bit. This is perfectly fine and tells our story of the scene a lot better if when you just put him on 50-40 IRE. Another cool shot from this commercial is this mirror shot. How to do a mirror shot like this? The camera is looking at our actor and we do a little push in. You will probably know why I don't see the camera in the reflection, because there is not a mirror. When you shoot a scene like this is all prop this is a built wall and it's just a hole. So you put another room in the background to put your person in front of the mirror, and then you do a push in. It's a really simple trick. You also can go even further and put a person with the same clothes in the foreground that they're looking at each other. So you have the feeling that, oh, there's actually a mirror. Because in this scene, I think it looks a bit fake, but overall this image looks perfectly fine. We have really nice symmetry with our practicals here, which gives us a practical light source to highlight these closing images on the side of the frame. What I also really like is the color contrast. You can see she has a white, light blue blazer on, which really let her pop in front of these warm lights. And also interesting, it's really reddish background with this blue hour in the background. That's something you don't see that often. I think it looks really nice. Maybe it's not red light and the colors of the walls are like that, but when you see in the close, I think it's a little bit of red touch. It's something special that I not see very often, and in this color palette, I think it works really nice. When you light someone in front of the mirror, you always go for a very frontal light. So you imagined there's here a light panel just shining at her face on a 45-degree angle, which gives us this little beauty dish light like. But as you can see, they probably could have put a reflector down here to give a little bit more life back into her eyes. I don't know the mood and story of the commercial, so probably they wanted to go with this more dramatic and dark look. I think this image is also a really great example from layers. I talk a lot about layers. The goal of a cinematographer is to make a 2D image look as 3D as possible. And look how they've done it. First, we have this nice framing with the circle, but we also have this bright wall with this dark vignette around it. So we have 1, 2, 3 layers on our first layer, which is really good. Also, next one, we have our person that has a key light, and also, as you can see, a cool backlight, which is motivated by the window, and then it gets even better. Then you have this practical that goes here as a layer. Then we go dark again on this wall. And then we have this nice light texture on the wall. I always tell everyone, especially here on YouTube, light your walls first. So put the camera right here, set the exposure, how you want your settings to be, then light everything like you see here, then put your actor in here, and then you start lighting her. Because it's much easier to change your camera settings for the background and then rebalance herself, then the whole room you build probably an hour or 2 on. Most of the time, all practicals in scenes like this are on, but this one is off. They probably planned to turn it on, but this lens probably give too much attention away from her and also gave too much fill on the background, so they put it out. Here, another scenery I want to talk about in this MasterCard commercial is, this is a very beauty dramatic like setup, but as you can see, the light actually not that soft. And this is something I will also tell a lot of people. Beauty is not always you use soft light. Beauty is in the aesthetic, in the clothes, in the facial expression. This is where the beauty are. And when everything fits nice, you can go for a more hard light look, which gives most of the time more the feeling of, look at me, the spotlight is on me. This is much more theater-like style. So in a scenery like this, which is not a pure beauty commercial, go with the hard light. This probably will match your story a lot better than the soft key light you planned. So if you enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate a subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli and we'll see you next time.